Hey guys, it's Peanut here again. I have a request from a subscriber to kind of basically show her how I keep my brushes clean, and I have some drying tips and some washing tips actually. I'll show you her name in just a second. Keep in mind that everybody does it differently. Everybody has their own little methods, their own little tips and stuff. So this is just the way I do it and the things I use and what works for me. So this is requested by Lauren's Makeup Tips. Here's her channel name. So if you would like to see the way that I do it and my little tips and what I use to clean them and keep them clean, just keep watching. Okay, so real quick before I get started, a couple of the tips that I was talking to you about. I do have a brush shampoo, but there's a lot of cheaper alternatives that are okay on your brushes that will get them clean and it doesn't damage the bristles. I do have the e.l.f. brush shampoo that is relatively cheap. I think it's like $3. And it works great. But you can also use different things, and it's super cheap and you can grab it right around the corner. One thing that I like to use a lot, and it's completely safe on your brushes, and it totally gets them clean and it doesn't harm them in any way, is a baby shampoo. As you can see, this is Equate. This one's from Walmart. And you can get a great big bottle for just a couple of bucks. You can get it from the dollar store. You can get baby shampoo anywhere. You guys know that. It's a very mild soap. It does get them clean and it does not damage your brushes. And secondly, another thing that you can use is any mild hand soap. Any antibacterial hand soap that you can get like from the dollar store or Lord, anywhere. And then I got this for a refill, and also it came from the Dollar General. And I think this big jug was only like $3. And it does not harm them in any way either. So I'm going to get some warm water flowing here and show you guys real quick how I wash a couple of brushes and also a couple of drying tips. So I'm going to point you down at the sink and let's get started. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys can see everything there. I'll do my best. So you just want to use like a lukewarm water. And I think this go around, I'm going to use the baby shampoo. And you guys know it wouldn't be harmful because I am going to be cleaning my favorite stippling brush. You know I love, love, love this brush. And it needs cleaned anyway, as you can see. So I'm just going to go ahead. So I just put the bristles down in the water. Let me get you, there we go. And get it good and wet. I don't put the soap directly on the brush. I'm going to get that wet. And I'm going to put the baby shampoo, put some in my hand. And like I said, everybody does things differently. This is just how I choose to do it and what works for me. So I'm just going to put the brush into the soap and just kind of go back and forth. And you can see the makeup starting to develop in the soap. And I never move the brush in any direction that it doesn't get moved on my face. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference, but to me it does. So I go back and forth, and you know, I blend with this so I can go this way as well. And this is another good way to see if you've got it rinsed out good. I'll show you that in just a second. So we're just going to work the soap through it real good. And make sure it gets in there real good. And I'm going to rinse my hand off. And as you can see, there's nothing on my hand. And there's still, the soap is still a little bit tinted. So now we'll rinse the brush. And then to make sure we've gotten all the soap out, put it on my hand and go back and forth. And see, there is soap bubbles still showing, so that means it's still got soap in it. So I'm just going to rinse it again. And do my little test again. And we have no soap bubbles. So then I rinse it one last final time. And another trick to making sure that I got all the makeup out is I use a white washcloth, a clean white washcloth, and then I just put the brush on it and I run it this way. And then I just kind of squeeze the excess water out of it. And the washcloth comes out clean. So I'm going to say we have it clean. And then I just tap it to loosen up the bristles. And it looks like that. Now, a tip that I do for drying my brushes, I don't stand them upright like this, because the way I see it, let me turn this water off, is if you stand it up this way to dry, all the water is draining down the handle. It makes sense, right? And you don't want to lay them flat, because then your bristles are going to flatten out. So what I did, I have this basket. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them like 4 of them for like $2, I think. And I just lay the basket on its side like this. Let me pick the camera up just a little. Okay, there we go. You can see the basket. I lay it on its side like that over the sink, and I stick the brush in like that at an angle or whichever way I got. But anyway, let me get it in there. There we go. As long as the bristles aren't touching the sink, and they're not, you can see my fingers under there. And then that way they dry, the water's not running down the handle, and then your bristles aren't getting flat. So that is how I wash and dry my brushes. I don't wash my brushes daily. I usually go and wash them like once a week. So I will do one more really super fast. And that's it. This time I will use the dollar store hand soap. I just want to reassure you guys that this is really safe for your brushes. So I'm using this one. It's from the Dollar General. Pour you back down in the sink. There we go. And we'll run through this again real quick. So I'm wetting my brush. And then I'm going to squirt just a couple of pumps of the soap in the palm of my hand, which was way too much. So I'm going to let some of that drain out. That was crazy. Oops. Okay, and then I'm just going to go back and forth again. Same motion. And take it in circles. And as you can see, that was entirely too much soap, so I'm going to rinse my hand off. Then you can squish it through the bristles too. I mean, everybody does it differently. Okay, I'm going to turn the water up just a little bit and get it rinsed out. And then we're going to do our little test to make sure we got all the soap out of it. And we don't. So as the water is running, I'll run the bristles. Apparently a half a pump would have done the job. Okay, well, we still got a little more soap. See that right there? That's the way I always tell. You don't want a bunch of soap drying in your brushes. So I'm going to squeeze it out and rinse it really, really good. And this is one of my new Sigma brushes. Actually, it's first wash from makeup. I mean, I washed it when I first got it before I used it, but okay, there we go. We've got all the soap. Now I'm just gonna squeeze the excess just a little and knock it around, loosen up the bristles, dry out the handle real good. I'm gonna squeeze the tip of my brush, get the excess water out. Loosen up the bristles again and shape it just a little, which is absolutely okay. I do it all the time. And get it straightened up here. There we go. And stick it in my basket. Just like I said, just make sure it's not lying flat. And there we go. So that is it. That is how I clean my brushes. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Did I make you dizzy? I didn't mean to. So if you haven't subscribed, it would be great if you did. I hope the tips on different cleansers helped a little. And if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the box. If you have any questions or comments regarding anything and you really want me to reply soon, hit it in the inbox. And you guys can always get me on Twitter at Peanuts39. And Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and you guys have a great night. Bye-bye.